Okay, I'm going to do a little garden update with you guys. So I planted some potatoes already towards the end of March. I'm kind of staggering them, so I will be planting more. And we have the 2 giant rows for the potatoes. However, when we were tilling up this new area for this new garden rows, we did notice a lot of cutworms. And cutworms, it's pretty common to see them along with any type of like white grubs when you're turning pasture land into gardening space, along with other problems like grass popping up. But cutworms are infamous on tunneling through your potatoes and pretty much any like root veggies. So if I planted carrots there, they would just tear up the carrots. And the food is still edible, but it's definitely not pretty, and they burrow through like the whole thing. It's not just the edges like some other bugs do. So it's pretty unfortunate, but as I was reading on it, I did come across a solution, and that is ordering nematodes. So there are nematodes, beneficial nematodes out there that will specifically target the cutworms along with other not beneficial insects in your soil. So I'm going to try that out. I ordered some that should cover the garden space that we have. And basically it's just kind of like this powder that comes in the mail. That sounds bad, right? And you mix it with water, and the powder is the nematodes. You mix it with the water, you spray your garden soil, and then you just keep that soil moist. So you got to make sure that the soil is already wet before you put the nematodes down, and then you just continue to keep the soil moist for the next 2 weeks. And you can do a succession thing with the nematodes if you need to, but I just ordered 1 box, see how it goes. I'm trying to protect my potatoes because I really want a huge potato harvest this year, so we'll see. But I am going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you the sprayer that I'm using, and then also let's see, I'm going to show you what I baited. So I did bait for the cutworms just to verify that there's enough in these rows where I do need to take action and tried to save my potatoes. So I baited them with pieces of carrots. So I'm going to pull one of those up and show you exactly what's going on underneath. Okay, so here's my potato row. You can see some of my potatoes are already coming up, which is fantastic. And I will dig out one of the pieces of carrots that I stuck in here on a skewer. See if I can get it out. Oh, I lost it. It's really buried. Hold on, I'll find it. There it is. Okay. So, this one I'm not really seeing too much. You can kind of see on this carrot right here is where they burrow. But I really want to show you guys what these cutworms look like. So I'm going to try to find another one, because I did pull them out, or I pulled out 1 or 2, and I saw a cutworm on it. So look at all that. So they burrow those nasty little holes, and it's pretty much like through the whole thing. So it's not very pretty. So they go for any type of young root veggies. So let's see if I can find one on here. Don't really see any on there. But as you can see, let's see if I can get the camera to focus. They're just a bunch of holes throughout, which is not a good thing if you're trying to grow potatoes and these little stinking cutworms or wire worms. Maybe they're wire worms. I'll pull up a photo of what I'm talking about. All right, so we didn't see any live ones, which is okay, but we do see evidence of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this sprayer over here. And this sprayer is 2 gallons or 7.5 liters. And I'm just gonna spray the nematodes in every row that we have and see how it goes. So if I measured correctly, I should have to fill this up one more time to do the other side. So this whole 2-gallon sprayer should cover one whole side, and then I'll fill it up again with the rest of the nematodes that I have, and then go through and spray all of these rows here and see if that makes a difference. So further news in the garden, I planted out some brassicas yesterday. So we have sprouts here. I did strawberries in between. Cabbage, sprout, cabbage. So that's about half of my sprouts and half of my cabbage. I wanted to just test to see how early I can get things out and how they're going to transplant. These 3 here are my broccoli, and when I pulled the row cover back this morning to water them, looks like my broccoli got a little sad over the night and one of those broke, but I'm confident it will bounce back. The flags are there just for the rest of the broccoli that I have to plant. And then these 3 are cauliflower. Also looking kind of sad, but they'll bounce back. I have faith. I have 2 more cauliflowers, 3 more broccoli. And then of course I have 3 cabbage and I think 3 more sprouts. And it's not all gonna fit in that space right there. I might have to sacrifice some cauliflower or broccoli or sprouts or cabbage, or just find a different spot to put them in. Might be over on this side in the row that I have my comfrey in, because I don't really have much going on here. I do have some radish coming up. I just broadcasted a bunch of radish seed. There's actually 2 different types there, pretty much going up to this comfrey, just to see what it does. It's all old seed. I have a lot of 2020 and even 2019 seed, so I've been trying to just use it when I can. I did notice we have some carrots popping up, which is great, but I don't have much faith in the carrots in this big garden. So there's some carrots right there and right there. So what I'm gonna do with carrots is actually seed them in crates up over by the kitchen garden, and we'll see if that works better for us. So I can keep them moist while they're germinating, and then also just to make sure that there's no critters getting to them. We got strawberries in that bed over there with the hoops, and then the 5 new rows, which will have peppers and tomatoes. Mostly flowers over here coming up. So I think these are all like brown-eyed Susan. Same with right over here. My hands are full, so I can't really point with my fingers. Then we have lupin. More bee balm. This is a hibiscus that our neighbor gave us a clipping for. And I actually have some asparagus coming up, surprisingly. Little baby asparagus. I was not expecting any asparagus to come up this year with the crowns that I just planted, so that's kind of exciting. More bee balm. Although a new addition over here would be my cardoon plant in my comfrey row. So we'll see how that grows. And we have another comfrey here too. And then I still have my hollyhocks under these bunny cages because they keep eating them. So I've been putting guards around them because they're little right now. The ones that I have up at the house still in their pots are getting big. And I'd like to transplant them, but these rabbits are just munching on my stuff. And then we have some peas here that they love to munch on as well. And more peas over on this side. I did transplant, well, I pulled up some onions and then I transplanted them into my onion row over there. But I had leftover yellow onions, so I planted them right here by my peas, and you know, I made a mistake. You don't want to plant onions next to peas because the onions will stunt the growth of the peas. So I went ahead, I dug them up and I transplanted them, and they're doing just fine in the onion row. So now that I have other onions popping up, I could tell what space I had left, and so I just transplanted them there. Yesterday I planted out some amaranth. I hear that they might need some support as they grow, so I went ahead and put it by the trellis. Oh, this one looks like casualty. No coming back from that one. So I'll have to replant that. Okay, it's the next morning. Chores are done. I forgot to mention, we plowed a new area specifically for pumpkins and watermelons, which I haven't really had much luck growing either. I don't think I've ever tried watermelons. I've tried some pumpkins, gotten maybe 1 or 2 back home in Washington, but this is the year, guys. I got a variety of pumpkins, and Robert wants to try to do a giant pumpkin, so we'll see if we can get that far. But I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you, and Landon actually helped till the spot up too. So, normal garden, and then this under the tarp here is the new area for our watermelons and pumpkins, which it is in the path that we had our meat birds. You can see the path that they've been on. They're over there right now. We'll move them a little bit more straight and then this way and kind of work our way to the post over there. And I I think we should get that far, but by the time we butcher them, we've only been moving them once a day. They haven't been too crazy, but you can see the spots that they congregate in at night. But that will actually end up looking like this spot over here, because this is where they first started, and all of this is just new growth. So it is pretty cool. We're gonna eventually tarp this whole area when they're done. We actually might throw the hens in up here too, so we'll see. But garden, super excited for this spot. It does not have compost. We just tilled it. I sprayed the remaining nematode spray that I had, and then we just covered it. So soon we'll put some compost on that when we have compost underneath this pile here, or underneath this tarp in this pile. And I wanted to check on my brassicas because it has been so windy. It's another windy day. And I think they're doing okay. They've perked up. That one still has, you know, the broken leaf on it that I haven't taken off. But they're surviving. I don't think I'm going to cover them. Today is going to be windy. We're just going to do the whole survival of the fittest out here. Yesterday I marked some spots over there for tomatoes and peppers. It looks a little crowded. It's all spaced accordingly, but I might actually do less. So that way I can do more interplanting with other things like flowers, or just like lower crops, like maybe spinach with the tomatoes. So that way the spinach is shaded out by the tomatoes and I can harvest it pretty quickly. It's not going to be there the whole time. So I'm going to try a lot of that just to get the rows covered, because I don't want bare soil. One, because it runs off and we're wasting what I feel in my mind is wasting. And the rows just sink. Like we build them up pretty high, but over time, you know, they just sink. So less buildup over the gardening season would be ideal. So in order to do that, you just really got to cover your soil, whether it's a mulch or a plant, flowers. We'll see how that goes. But that's the plan. Until next time, we do have a bee video coming out soon. And Robert is working on the other videos for his remaining trip home back to Kentucky. So stay tuned for those. But for now, that's the garden update. Bye.
Like and subscribe for more amazing content, and comment down below what you liked most about this video.